Hey, what's good everyone? I am back today with another video post the AFL pre-season. We're done with it and now we're into the real stuff. Well, round 0 at least. First up, and then we got round 1. So we still got about another, as you can see here, 9 days, 23 hours, 35 minutes and 42 seconds. So we have a bit left. This is how the team is looking. There's been a few changes that I've had to make post the second round of practice games, the official preseason. The main ones here that we can see from before the official preseason games: Zach Reid's come in the team. In the midfield, Zach Butters has left. Jordan Dawson's now in. Or who else? I've put in Sam Naismith because I think he may play at least round 1 and maybe round 0. Jordan's come in the team. Voss, Karmas are both in the team. So a few, but for the most part, the team has stayed the same. We'll go into it quickly. Anything interesting, we'll just take our day cost to go through everyone. Look, Sicily, he's just a no for me. I think Hawthorn do want to free him up, but he's just playing so much lockdown still. He really is. And he's just not getting as much rebound ball as you would want, you know. Hawthorn's really using guys like Amon, they're using Impey, even D'Ambrosio. They're really taking a lot of rebounding, and it's really hurting his scoring potential, so I'm just going to steer clear. Thomas Stewart, he played well, he did, but I think Max Holmes is certainly going to be taking points off him, without a doubt. He looked really good, and I think he's going to be doing a lot of rebounding this year. Even guys like Zach Guthrie, I think, may take, well, not necessarily a massive step, but maybe even a little bit better. He takes kickouts as well. I just think Thomas Stewart's really not going to have a monopoly over them. So, for me, he's a pass. Houston played alright, but I don't know. I just don't really trust him, to be honest. I think he had like an awesome year last year. All Australian, I think he was even, and everything. But I just don't really know if he can back it up. Put out like a 12-game win streak last year. Are they going to have that this year? Probably not. Look, for this last defender premium spot, well, a defender premium spot, it's either Sheezel or Jaden Short for me. That's who I'm really weighing up. Sheezel played well, but I just don't know if he's going to get enough ball with McKercher and Fisher. Like, Fisher was on Sunday. He really was. He played well. You know, and McKercher played decently as well. He'll probably play a little bit better than that for most of the home and away season. And so I'm just like, Sheezel just hacks it. He really does. He's got like so little precision in his kicking. You know, I don't know how more people don't talk about that. He just bombs a ball. Like, seriously. So I'm really debating if I want to start him. Not gonna lie. But for now, he's still in the team. Ridley got injured. Hayden Young played well. He did. And I was a little bit unsure of him before, but now he's pretty set. So I'm happy with that. People are talking about Buderick, or Buderick, however you pronounce it. But I just don't really see it, to be honest. I'm not going to trust it. Look, so D'Ambrosio, he did play pretty decently. I do see him probably averaging maybe somewhere around the 70 to 80 mark. I definitely think it's possible. I think he will certainly rebound. Like I said before, I think he probably is still behind Impey and Amon in terms of maybe like kick-ins, and Sicily behind him as well in terms of kick-ins for Hawthorn. But like, he will get ball back there, and you know, he can mark. He's a good kick. So we'll get some points from there. Zach Williams, I just don't know if he's going to play in round 1. So for now, he's out of the team. Obviously, if he does play, I do want him at some point. Maybe if he comes in at like round 3 or something after Carlton's bye, I might wait like 2 games and then downgrade someone to him when he's on the bubble. Who knows? We'll just have to see how that plays out. And then yeah, Zach Reid looked good again. Good kick. Seems like, yeah, he's got good skills and everything. And overall, he'll just seem like he'll play, which is good. Oscar McDonald, I think he might play in the first few early rounds, but I think he might get pushed out after that. I'm not completely sure. So I'm probably just going to avoid starting him. Likalia honestly might play as well, not going to lie. But again, job security. GWS has really good key defensive stocks. So, yeah, don't really trust that. Blake Howes is playing in round 0, but again, job security, I'm not really sure of it. Toby Pink did look alright, but I just think there's better options out there. Namely, the guys that I've got here, Reid, Caulfield, Gibcus, Phillips. They're probably my top 4 defenders, rookies that I would want at the moment, so I've got them all in. And yeah, Caulfield, I think he played well. Like, people were saying out there that he didn't play that well. Like, he was intercepting the ball. He's a good kick. You know, I think he can certainly average around the 55, 60, even 65 mark. So, you know, he's definitely in for me. I think he's got decent job security as well. Showmaker did play. I don't know if he's going to play in round 1 though, so I'm going to avoid him. And yeah, Phillips. So, yeah, Phillips did okay. I think his job security is pretty alright as well. I think he is probably the best current key defender with no James Blank or anything. So, I think he does get games. I do. Again, he had a hard task against like Aaron Norton and stuff, so, you know, you're not going to be too harsh on him there. Going into the midfield, Bont, I just want to start him, not going to lie. Did play well, looked like he was in second gear for most of the game. Petrarca, he's a real interesting one for me. He's definitely not guaranteed in my team right now. So I'm going to have to weigh up if I want him, because he's expensive. I might downgrade him to someone else. But it's like who? Because as you can see, Dawson I put in, again, looked like he wasn't trying too hard, but scored well still in limited time on ground. Butters, he's out because he rolled his ankle. Otherwise, he'd still be in the team. I do want him still, but I just, more than anything, I want a safe team, and so I'm avoiding him for that, even though I think he'll be alright for round 1. Davies Uniacke didn't play well stats wise, but if you look, SuperCoach wise, but if you look at him during the game, like just the eye test, he still played well, or at least like good enough. You know, you can still see he's still extremely skilled and everything, so I wouldn't be worried if you were starting him for scoring wise. Durability wise, for me though, that's the reason I'm not going to. Goulden, look, Sydney do have a few injuries now with Parker and Adams, so hopefully he gets more inside midfield time. Again, even if he doesn't, I think he's just going to score, even if he's on a wing in limited inside midfield time. Sarong, perfect role pretty much, inside midfield the whole game. You know, he just racks it up. I think, wasn't he like the leading disposal getter or something last year? Just racks it up. Honestly, just, yeah, pretty much a lock for me. Not a lock, but I definitely do want to start him. Tom Green, playing well, has the early bye though. For that reason, I am going to just dodge him. I know he's got like North Melbourne, West Coast in the first few rounds, but it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to miss him. Brayshaw, too much wing. Jai Newcomb did play well, not going to lie, but in a Hawthorn midfield that's just going to get smashed. He could probably get tagged even at some point if he keeps playing really well, because I mean, like, who else in midfield's going to tag against Hawthorn with no Will Day? Amon, look, people are like starting him and stuff. I don't know, like, if you want, but I don't know, I just don't really see it. Like, people are thinking he's going to average 100. I think he's much more likely to be averaging around 80. Like, even if he's playing a half-back role, he's not going to be getting, like, a heap of it. He's really not. A guy like Nick Martin, a lot of people are starting. Again, I think he looks pretty good in the preseason, gets a lot of ball, good skills and everything, as per usual for him. But I don't really know if he's going to be averaging a ton. Essendon still has other people that can rebound, like Mason Redmond. Who else? I'm sure I've got some other guys. And Matt Crouch, I just don't really know how much midfield time he's going to get. It's not like when he was averaging like 100 a few seasons ago, when it was just like him, Sloan, and Brad Crouch as well, in the main people in the midfield. It's different now. It really is. They've got Dawson, they've got Rory Laird probably as their main two midfielders, along with Crouch. But, you know, now you've got guys like Crouch, now you've got like Rankin, Rochelle, all those other guys going through. Pedler, even sure will get some time. Maybe even Keys will get a little bit, but probably not too much. So, you know, I would just avoid him, to be completely honest with you. Not really keen on starting him. Elliot Yeo actually played alright, but he's just too much. And I mean, you would only select him as a defender, of course. Max Holmes is very interesting. Of all the mid-price midfielders, he's probably the one that I would be most keen on starting. I just think he's primed to take another step up, and he looked really good in their preseason game. He really did, just running off half-back. It was really like him or Nick Martin in that game, you know, battle of the mid-prices. And for me, Holmes came out on top. Just, yeah, so fast with the ball and everything. Kicks it long. You know, I think he'd get a lot of points from that. Has really a perfect role inside midfield combined with half-back. So, yeah, he's enticing. He really is. For me personally, I am willing to, after the first 2 rounds, use 3 trades to correct, either people that's underperforming or bring in people that are looking really good. So I am willing to make a few correction trades, whoever that may be. If that is Max Holmes, Nick Martin, whoever it is, I am willing to do that. So again, we have 40 trades this year, so I don't really mind doing it, to be honest. Thompson Dow. Look, the guy gets a lot of midfield time, but I just don't really see it. I don't really see the natural progression in him, even though he's got a really good role. But I just don't think he's going to score enough, even though he's going to have time in the midfield, inside midfield. Okay, so now getting into the rookies. Harley Reid, I do still have on my bench. He played well. Maybe I'll start him, maybe over like Mead or something on the field. Not sure exactly yet. Still got some time to weigh that up. I probably will end up starting him on the field though, I'd imagine. Miketcha, again, didn't play it super well, but like played decently still, and I think he's going to be good to start. Although out of these 3 on the field right now, he probably would be the one most likely to go on my bench. I do have a lot of money on the bench, like 150k, 207k, 181k, even 30k. But, I mean, I'm fine with it because I think all these guys are going to score well and generate a heap of cash. Even though it's best 18 and they're probably not really going to be used for a lot of the early rounds. So, even if other guys in here get dropped. I'm really just trying to prioritize job security with all my rookies because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, they can play as good as they want. If they're not in the AFL, not on the AFL team, they're not going to be doing anything for us. Campbell Chesser is one I think will have good job security, but I just don't think he's going to score enough. Like, you can see 35 points from 14 games, and he didn't look super in the preseason. Sanders obviously played really well, so he's an easy in. Huswaite, I think, definitely will get good inside midfield time, especially whilst Day is out. After that, maybe not so much, but I think he'll still be in the team and playing, so he should still score pretty decently. For him, I can see around, maybe a 65-ish average, which is not too bad. Lazaro, yeah, I think he'll play just because North Melbourne's team isn't as strong still. It seems like for him, it's either him or Will Phillips battling it out for a midfield spot. Maybe they both play. Lazaro, he's a hard worker, but sometimes in the game on Sunday, he just missed a lot of handballs. But honestly, I don't even really blame that on him too much because what he was doing was he got the ball, he looked up, he wanted to kick it to someone, but North Melbourne just had nothing ahead. And then so he's like, okay, I can't kick it because it's just going to be a turnover. It's going to go to the St Kilda. And so he was just like, okay, he just went and tried to like handball it off to someone. But like he really didn't have it. Well, he did miss a few easy handballs, I will say. But like, I don't think it was the worst, to be honest, because North Melbourne's setup is just not that good. And yeah, he's a hard worker and I think he will play. So for me personally, at 181k, he's in the team. Windsor has been named to play in the round 0 game. Yeah, job security wise, I'm a little bit unsure still. Once Lockie Hunter comes back, yeah, not sure if he takes a spot or not, but he played well in the preseason match. So, look, we'll see. Maybe after round 0, if he goes really well, maybe he's in then. Darcy Wilson played really well, so he's a lock in the team. I think I didn't have him last time, but he's definitely in now. Jai Clark, a lot of people were talking about Jai Clark, but it just brings back flashbacks to Tanner Bruin last year, or Bruin, whatever his name is. So I just think he's not going to score that well if he plays, and, he may not even play, to be honest with you. I still think I would play Sean Manor over him. I don't think Geelong will, but I think they should. Jacob Ware could play. Even if he does, I'm not sure of the job security, so I'm probably going to avoid him. Again, Sean Manor, I don't think he's going to play, so for me, he's out of the team. Hugo Garcia, this guy actually played well, I'm not going to lie. Especially in the first half for St Kilda. I think I'd heard of his name, but I didn't really know too much about him. I don't think I've ever seen him play before watching this game against North Melbourne. So, yeah, will he be in their team come round 1? Not sure, probably not. So, I'll probably avoid him. But, hey, maybe at some point during the season, he will be one to put in the team. Who knows? Rucks. So English played well. For me though, 715k, when you can get either like Gawn like 150k less or 130k less, and then Grundy, like over 200k less, 230k less, like I'm just going to take the cash, to be honest with you. Marshall, I think played pretty well as well, but again, it's just kind of like the cash and the upside of a guy like Gawn, just absolutely dominated. I don't want to be starting without him, even though I wasn't completely sure of it last time, but yeah, he just looks like a lock now. And Grundy didn't perform super well, but look, I'm not going to hold it against him. I still think at 481k, I still think he'll be alright. You know, if at West, I can go down to Cherry, if need be. Cherry didn't perform the best either, but look, I still think he'll be viable, certainly. So, looking at the rucks, who's he's going to play? I don't think Toby Conway's going to play, because I don't think Geelong's going to play 2 rucks, and I think it's the number one currently is still Reece Stanley. I did have Ethan Reid in the team in the last edition. I don't think he's going to play, though. Jordan Sweet, I think he's not going to play probably because Ivan Solder is going to be the number one, but he might play at some stage during the season, and if that happens, he genuinely probably could average around 80, 85, maybe even 90. He's good. He is definitely good. So, yeah, watch out for that. But I'm sure, obviously, a lot of people know that. I might even start with him. But, again, the guy that I currently have, Sam Naismith, did play well, or at least pretty decently, and it seems like Toby Nankervis will be out for a few weeks at least to start the season. We'll see. We will see. But I'm probably going to start with Naismith nevertheless. We'll see how he goes in the round 0 game, but, yeah. And now going on to forwards. So, yeah. For me personally, again, the premiums, you can pretty much bypass them, to be honest. Premiums, but I wouldn't say really any of these guys are super, super good options, to be honest with you. Rankin did play really well, but I don't really see the consistency. I think he'll probably up his average a bit, but like to 85, 90, I don't know if you really want to start him for that for 461k. Yeah, so Fisher. Obviously, a big talking point from the preseason games. 36 touches, looked really good. I think if North takes that, that half-back accumulator role away from anyone, it's not going to be Fisher. It's probably either going to be Sheasel. Probably Sheasel. They'll probably put Sheasel either into the midfield or they'll put him forward. They may put McKercher maybe a half forward. I could definitely see that. Fisher, though, I think he's going to be half-back. So I think he's really good, really solidified with that role. And unless injury, which is a big concern, I can see him scoring really well for the year. So he's pretty much locked in the team, not going to lie, right now, especially after that game. The second preseason game, I was a little bit worried, but then after watching that St Kilda game against them, yeah, it made me a little bit more confident. So we're going to go with him. Honestly, I don't really understand why they were playing Bailey Humphrey over Sam Flanders in the midfield. Like, hopefully that was just a preseason thing and not an actual home and away season thing. Flanders didn't really play too well, but I'm not too worried about him, to be honest. I think he'll still score well during the home and away season. So we do have round 0 for him as well. So we'll probably get a better look out of that. So we'll see what happens there. Tom Powell didn't play super well against St Kilda. I was looking at him a little bit, but probably not really anymore. Tom Lynch, I think, could be an option if at some point during the season, but not to start the season because I don't even think he's going to play. Nat 5, okay, 51%, very interesting. My strategy for this year is just, don't be too out there with my team. Just pick players that everyone else is playing with. So, in line with that strategy, I would be picking Nat 5, but I just don't want to because he's so injury prone. I still might end up doing it just because that's my strategy that I'm going with. Don't be too risky at the start of the season. I want low risk, low reward, but I just want stability. And I honestly don't really think Nat 5 brings that much stability, to be completely honest with you. With obviously could easily get rested or be a sub or something like that, so yeah, I'm not really sure I want to start him. James Jordan, 45% now. Especially after the injuries to the other Swans midfielders, and, he did look good in that game, accumulating. I think I'm going to start him for 275k. Mid-forward, a little bit of flexibility, but I got a few others that can do that as well. So I think that'll be all right, and we are going to start with him. I think, once the other Swans midfielders come back, that'll probably hit his scoring, but for now at least, I don't think it's too bad. Harms, I would like to get Harms in the team. I think he's quite good. It is really a battle between him, Billings, Jordan. Probably I can put 2 of those 3 in, even at 5. I can put 2 of those 4 in, but not the others. So I've gone currently with Jordan and Billings. Then I've gone with Billings as well here, because it's just that's just what I'm feeling, He's in the team currently for Melbourne. It's been named round 0, but look, like, we'll see how it goes. I'm not, like, super confident, but it just is what it is. And then, anyone else here? Not really. Shannon Neal actually played alright. He had, like, 3 touches, though, so I'm going to pass him. Mead looks pretty good, not going to lie. I think he's going to be in the team for Port Adelaide. He's had, like, 20 touches in each of their preseason games, so he's an in for me. And then, Jamison, I don't know if he'll play, but he did look like he was, getting a bit of the ball and stuff. Not too much, though, so he's probably not going to score much. And for 199k, probably pass. Desma, I don't know if he'll play, but I think he might. 33% of people, but he's not just going to score too much, I don't reckon. North Melbourne forward line, still kind of raw, so I'll pass him. Tom Emmett, he didn't play in the second preseason game because I think of illness, but he looked quite good in the first one, so I'm going to still keep an eye on him. Anyone else? Matt Taberner, he did play in the second preseason game, and look, for a guy that came like 3rd in the Coleman once, just like 4 or 5 years ago, he's interesting. But they do obviously have better key forwards now. Lachlan McNeil, look, he does look like he's improved a little bit, and Bulldogs do kind of need a small forward. They do have Vandermeer and West still, but look, he averaged 28.5 from 13 games last year. I just don't think he's going to score that much. Finlay McRae, he's a big one who I've had to drop. It's sad, because I'm not sure he's going to be in their best team, even though I think he should be. We'll get round 0. If he is in their best team in round 0, he might come back in, but for now, I have had to fade him. Kai Lohman did look interesting as well, playing maybe like a bit of a half-backy type of thing. He was getting a few touches, so I'm going to keep an eye on him. Again, we do have round 0 for him. Ollie Dempsey did look good as well. Good mark and everything, so he may be one that comes in the team. Right now, you can see I've got Buku Karmas and Pat Voss. We'll get into them when he passes them. Sexton racked it up. Pretty much a lock at this point. Cadman did also look good, not going to lie. So I'm going to keep my eye on him in the round 0. Bailey Laurie, will he get a game? Maybe. We'll see in round 0. Yeah, so Biggie Nguyen, he has been playing. Will he play in round 1? I'm not completely sure, but I think there's still better options regardless. I don't think he's going to score a ton. Sam Darcy, I did have him. I just don't think he's going to play. He played in the VFL for the second practice match round. Even though he was listed to play, I think he didn't. Harvey Gallagher did play. Honestly, I'm not sure he's going to be playing in round 1. I probably wouldn't play him in round 1. I think the Bulldogs do have better people like Oscar Baker, who I would be probably playing over him. Buku Karmas did look good in that kind of third tall intercepting role. I think he'll play, and I think he actually might score a bit, not going to lie. If he takes those intercepting marks, those are worth a lot. So, yeah, going to keep an eye on him. Patrick Voss, again, looked good. He did, not going to lie. So, yeah, and I think he won Essendon's VFL Best and Fairest or something last year. Apparently, he was really unlucky to get delisted. So, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on him. Big-bodied midfielder, I think. So, yeah, going to keep an eye on him. Cooper Simpson did play, although I don't think he's going to be in the best team, so going to bypass him. Harvey Thomas did play for GWS. I don't know if he's in their best team, though. He might be. Even if he is, don't think he's going to score that much. And that's pretty much it. So, that's the team. Whew, that was a lot of talking. I've already been speaking for 2 hours today, so I've done a lot of presenting, but hey, I enjoy it, Especially SuperCoach. Oof. Captain's wise for round 1, I'm not even going to bother yet. We still got round 0. Still got another week. We'll see how the team changes based on that. But yeah, it's been interesting so far. It really has been. This is the team currently. Again, I think it's quite a strong team. I don't really see many people with stronger teams than this. Maybe the defensive line's a bit weak, you could say. But other than that, I think it's quite a strong team. The midfield, the forward line, I haven't seen really stronger midfield forward lines than this for most other teams that I've seen. And again, the bench is quite strong. I don't think I've seen a stronger bench than this. And the rucks, I think both are quite good still. Maybe you could say Grundy's got a bit of a query on Grundy still, but we'll see. We will see. And yet, defense isn't too bad as well. I don't think these rookies would score too badly. I think D'Ambrosio, again, could go around maybe 70, 75. Hayden Young could maybe go around 100, 105. Sheasel, 100, 105. And Dacos, yeah, maybe 110, 115, maybe 120. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.